with the Hove in them, they drunk, they Illuminati. That killed me with the Hove in them, they drunk, they Illuminati. Yeah. Why the fuck I ain't drink then? I just went to the party, let everybody get Illuminati wasted, and I said, yo, I'ma stay, no, I'm cool. Tonight's the night, I'm on my Nori shit. 36 hours clean. My birthday coming, y'all. I'm not doing the blood sacrifice today. Out here. I'd have been in there vampire from Brooklyn, nigga. You think Eddie had it? Me, nigga. Fuck out of here with that, nigga. It's called the Illuma grinding, nigga.
Hey, all right, shalom, shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakah Kodash. Say double honor to the apostles and the bishop elders at Great Millstone for teaching his word in truth and sincerity and for ruling well. And salutations to my fellow Akim across the four corners of the globe, preaching it and prophesying in the name of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai. Yeah, I'm my brother Gabar Yahweh from GMS Hawaii, coming to you with another lesson. And this lesson is on the fact that Jake is the last to know any damn thing. And this is also inspired. I was watching a video Apostle Gabar did in regard to a reply video that he did that Apostle Tahar was speaking about, you know, this new movie that's coming out, what is called the Book of Clarence, and it's kind of like a spin-off, or like basically like a rip-off, a slight rip-off of the movie Life with Brian. And then he was talking about some of the creators, or the Monty Pythons. These are the men that starred in that movie, that wrote the movie, produced the movie, and how they were lesser luminaries, or they were tapped in because, you know, they go to these high-level colleges and universities like Cambridge and Oxford. Some of those comparable to that in America is Harvard and Yale. And indeed, that those people that are high up that know what's really going on, because they can't write these movies, make these movies, unless they know exactly what's going on. As we always say, in the average Israelites, the average Jake, the average Negroes, you Negroes, Latinos, you don't know what's going on. You have no idea what's really going on. And just because you in the music industry don't mean that everybody's tapped in, but it also too is, it's called plausible deniability. This guy, Memphis Bleak, that you see right here, he's a rapper, and he's tapped in with that dude Jay-Z, who is a lesser luminary, you know, and he definitely is tapped in, and I'm going to prove it. All right, I'm going to prove it through a couple of things, you know. But he was talking about how, like, people kill him, talking about you know, Jay-Z and the whole Illuminati thing, and how he's been in these parties with Jay-Z, and he ain't drink no blood, or he ain't kill nobody, or I'm not going to do a sacrifice today. They all laughing like it's a joke. And this is called plausible deniability. This shit really happens. Not just because you see people around certain people don't mean that, Slakia. Excuse me, I had to sneeze. Just because you see people around people don't mean that everybody tapped in. But Jay-Z is definitely a lesser luminary. He's definitely a Satanist, a high-level Satanist. Okay? And I'm sure Memphis Bleak is too. You know? It's just niggas like him, Slakia. Yeah, it's just niggas like him that are last to know. And that's the thing. Not everybody is tapped in. And where we would be considered, well, they're a luminous. But on the right-hand side, the things that we know, the average people around us, they don't know or understand them. You know, so people will say certain things about us, but if you're not in the know, you're not in the know. And this guy, Memphis Bleak, is an example of a nigga that's not in the know. Niggas are not in the know. That's what I'm gonna title this lesson. Hopefully the apostles see it, you other brothers see it, and you can pick up and you can do reply videos on it, because he's a great example of a nigga that's not in the know. Now, all these niggas at this table are some way lesser luminaries. They don't get into these parties without taking an oath of not speaking. And that's what it's about. Like Elder Apostle Gabar said in his video, the reason why they killed John Lennon is because he had a problem keeping his mouth shut. You know, and he was definitely the Beatles, Paul McCartney, John Lennon. All of those are all worshipers of Aleister Crowley. In fact, on one of the Beatles album covers, they have in a Satanist, a high level Satanist and a luminous. His name was Aleister Crowley, and you can see this image right here. This is one of their albums, the Beatles album covers, and they got this dude right here, you know, and this dude was a sadistic Satanist, high-level Satanist, witch and warlock. All right, just like Jay-Z. Just like Jay-Z has he had a sweater on with this saying on it. It says, "Do what thou wilt," which is a saying of Aleister Crowley. You see it right here. This is the image of it right here. This is the same saying of Aleister Crowley. Now this nigga had this sweater on. This wasn't a mistake. His stylist didn't just pick this up at the thrift store and throw it on this nigga. No, this nigga really is a fucking Satanist, right? So going back to this guy, this nigga Memphis Bleak, which is basically like Jay-Z's footstool, and this nigga, he basically worships Jay-Z. This nigga, he's been worshiping this nigga since he was a little kid, you know? And now this nigga's trying to play like it ain't all about selling your soul and selling out. He's talking about something. It's not about Illuminati. It's about grinding. And it's not about grinding. Jay-Z didn't grind his way to the top and just because he had talent and he had know-how of making money and hustling. No, the nigga is a demon, a high-level demon. All right? And so this is a precept I have. This is Luke chapter 16, verse 8. And the Lord commanded the unjust steward because he has done wisely. Let me read that again. And the Lord commended the unjust steward because he had done wisely, for the children of this world are in their generation wiser than the children of light. Now, who are the children of light? We, the Israelites. All right? They call us so-called Black, Latino, Native Americans. We're the Israelites. But the children of this world, starting with Esau, Edom, even the sellouts of our own people, they're wiser than us down here. Why? Because they know what's going on. See, when you go do your little rap shit, when you sell out, when you go dress like these people, emulating these people, basically you clone Tyrone and shit by imitating these people, you don't know that you're worshiping Satan at all. Which these rappers, these sellouts, these artists, particularly these are the ones you can point out. These people, they know what they're doing, but you don't, right? Because these people in this world are wiser than the children of the light. And when you read that in the NLT, it says the rich man had to admire the dishonest rascal, which Jay-Z is an example of a dishonest rascal, for being so shrewd. And Jay-Z gets a lot of credit for being a shrewd businessman and the people that follow him, you know? Because Esau, he sees the potential in certain Jake that can be influential. This nigga Memphis Bleak, he's not influential to nobody. If he was found to be influential, had skills, they would invite him into that door. But this nigga might have made it to maybe the first door, maybe the second door, while Jay-Z been all the way up in the 32nd door, you know? But these niggas, they didn't have the talent or the gift to influence millions of people. You know, when he was signed to Rockefeller Records, he was like a gold artist. Maybe he can reach like 500,000 people. Well, Jay-Z could reach 5 million people, 500 million people. And then not only reach them, but he can entice them to do wickedness and evil. Again, back in Luke chapter 16, verse 8, the rich man had to admire the dishonest rascal for being so shrewd. And it is true that the children of this world are more shrewd in dealing with the world around them than are the children of light. So, again, niggas is the last people. You niggas, you're the last to know what's going on around you. Here it is, the Edomites at a high level, they know exactly how to deal with the world in a shrewd manner than those around. Let's look at that word for shrewd. So the word shrewd is having or showing sharp powers of judgment, astute, you know, astute, sharp-witted, intelligent, clever, alert. And most of you niggas in the world, you're not alert. You're not spiritually alert to what's going on around you. You're stuck in the carnal side, the physical side. You don't understand that there's a higher level to things than what you see, especially to this physical world. In fact, everything in this physical world is governed by the things of the spirit world, right? This is the book of Ephesians. This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 12. It says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." In the NLT it says, "For we are not fighting against flesh and blood enemies." Let me read that again. "For we are not fighting against flesh and blood enemies, but against evil rulers and authorities of the unseen world, against the mighty powers in this dark world, and against evil spirits in the heavenly places." Right? And so again, you got images where Jay-Z, he basically, the nigga sold out. He deal with witches and warlocks. Now this nigga Memphis Bleak, they didn't have this nigga dealing with witches and warlocks in public. He might have did that shit behind closed doors or did some weirdo shit and try to come off like he's hardcore. The Illuminati don't want to. When I say the Illuminati, Jay-Z is not a part of the elite Illuminists. He's just a lesser Illuminate. That's all he is. He's a lesser Illuminary. That's why when these witches and warlocks like Hillary Clinton, Obama, they want to induce you people to follow them or entice you people to follow them during election time. What do? They bring Jay-Z, Beyonce on stage. Why? Because you niggas follow Jay-Z and Beyonce, and you niggas will, whatever they say, you'll listen to. Like the scripture says, when a rich man speak, the people, they listen to see what he gonna say. But when a poor man speaks, they ignore him, roughly paraphrasing. So they're not gonna bring a nigga like Memphis Bleak on stage to entice you niggas to vote Democrat. Because who the fuck is Memphis Bleak? You know what I'm saying? But Jay-Z, on the other hand, they'll use this nigga because this nigga is dealing with them demons on the left-hand side. Now, here's an example of that. This is an image of Jay-Z with this witch called Marina Abramovich. All right? This is her and Jay-Z right here. Now, these people standing in this art museum, this art gallery, it ain't no niggas around here. It ain't no average niggas. An average nigga is not standing around here. These are all witches and warlocks and unsuspecting, what do you call them? Spectators witnessing a satanic event right here. This nigga Jay-Z with Marina Abramovich, right? Right here. And he's doing witchcraft right in front of you niggas, and y'all don't even know it. Memphis Bleak ain't part of this. Memphis Bleak ain't this. And Memphis Bleak represents this nigga. This nigga represents 2/3. The rest, the average 2/3 nigga. The average 2/3 nigga don't know what the fuck is going on. Because you not gonna make it in this world unless you're tapped into wickedness and on a high level. Get your little crumbs of $1 billion, $2 billion. If it was about hard work, Salakia. If it was about hard work and talent, the average nigga would be billionaires around this motherfucker, making it happen and making moves tapped in. But no, it's not about that, because you wouldn't see Jay-Z and Beyonce in the first room with the president, with the potential presidents. And we know that in order to be a president, you got to be you are a warlock to be a president. You're a high-level warlock. And guess what? You still low on the totem pole when it comes to the super elite. But that doesn't mean you're not part of the Illuminists. All right? So this bitch right here, she's a witch. Her name is Marina Abramovich. Here's another picture of her with Lady Gaga at a so-called exhibit. And this bitch Lady Gaga is eating a spoon of blood and other mixtures in this, and you see her digging with the spoon inside the shit, eating blood. Lady Gaga is nonchalant as she eats quote unquote fake blood off a woman, which this is not fake blood. This is blood, semen. This is witchcraft. And you gonna tell me some person like this is loving? You gonna tell me that they not tapped in? Like, again, we wrestle not against flesh and blood. Again, For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places, man. And that's what that nigga Jay-Z and all of these high-level entertainers in this world, they tapped into wickedness in high places, right? This is the same woman that was in that picture with Jay-Z. And here it is. They at this private party that the average nigga ain't in. And who this bitch probably dead. She's probably really dead or in some type of satanic trance, because you got to have nothing but demons on you to get into a box full of fucking blood and semen and excrement and just lay there, you know? And nobody knows this woman in this fucking in this box. You know, she could have been sex trafficked. Nobody knows. And they're just smiling like, who the fuck gets off on this shit? Edomites and niggas that's in the witchcraft, man. You niggas. And then you got this bitch, Lady Gaga. She is nothing but a fucking demon. This bitch she got a host of demons on her. A host of fucking demons on her. And she's sitting there fucking eating it like it's a fucking fruit cup. You know? But again, you niggas are the last to know. This is Hosea 4 and 6. This is the book of Hosea, chapter 4 and 6. All right? Hosea 4 and 6, it says, Salakia. Hosea 4 and 6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children. And that's why the hood is the way it is. That's why wherever you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans dwell at, you're forgotten. You're forgotten out this bitch, man. You ain't blessed. And the only way you could think you can get a piece of a blessing is if you sell out to Esau. Because the reason why you destroyed is because you have a lack of knowledge of Yahweh Shema Shai. Like this nigga. This nigga is an example of niggas with a lack of knowledge of the Most High. On the right hand and on the left hand side. You know? This weed smoking, chain wearing nigga. You know? Always defending Jay-Z at every chance. You never hear this nigga talk bad about Jay-Z. And he'll say, well, why do I? He looked out for me. He got me out the projects. I'm traveling places. I'm going places. I got money. You know? Because these niggas worship money. Right? So it's called Aluma grinding. Don't forget I'm part of the Aluma grinding. You know, and like I said, it's not about hard work. It's not. These niggas practice witchcraft on a high level, but a nigga is the last to know everything. A nigga is always the last to know everything. That's why, even when it comes to righteousness, that's why the Lord said this. And
kill me with the
this is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 12. I'm going to start at 32. It says, this is the anointed, which the highest have kept for them, and for their wickedness unto the end. He shall reprove them, and shall upbraid them with their cruelty. And Yahweh Shai is the one that's going to do that. He's going to judge 2/3 of Jakes, man. For he shall set them before him alive in judgment, and shall rebuke them and correct them. For the rest of my people shall he deliver. This is the elect. With mercy, those that have been preserved upon my borders. Not every Israelite is going to be preserved upon the borders of Yahweh Shema Shai. It says, and he shall make them joyful until the coming of the day of judgment, whereof I have spoken unto thee from the beginning. Verse 35, this is the dream that thou sawest, and these are the interpretations. Verse 36, thou only hast been meet to know this secret of the highest. Therefore, write all these things that thou hast seen in a book, and hide them. And that book is this Bible. Yeah, it's in the front of everybody's faces, but not everybody's reading it. Not everybody's tapped in. The Lord hasn't given every man the eye to see and the ears to hear this truth and understand it. Therefore, write all these things that thou hast seen in a book, and hide them, and teach them to the wise of the people, whose heart thou knowest may comprehend and keep these secrets. Not every nigga, not every Israelite man has the understanding, the spiritual spiritual mental capacity to comprehend and understand these words, man. So to a nigga, they don't even believe that there's a righteous side and a left, an unrighteous side or a wicked side. They don't even believe that the Most High, Yahweh Shem Shai, exists, and that he's coming back to judge this world, starting with 2/3 of Jake's. All right, they don't understand that, but the super elite know that's coming. Them Rothschilds, they know the fuck that's coming. They know the judgment that's fucking coming to them. They know that they're gonna go into captivity, and all of that's written in the Bible. But everybody not meet to know this. Again, a nigga is the last to know anything, straight up and down, and he's an example of that. And so with that, we say shalom, on to the next.